Hi everybody and welcome to another After Effects tutorial. My name is Eitan and today I will be showing you some cool long shadows and a sort of alternate method of doing them. And see here we have, depending on how you move, I parented this to a null so you can just sort of move it around, get different cool looking results. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make a new composition and type our text. So I'm just going to write text. Okay, so bring this over here. Let me bring up this resolution. Okay, and then I'm just going to turn off this little stroke we have here. Then switch the font. And that looks kind of cool. Okay, so this is going to be that, and I'm just going to pre-compose this just so we can always come in and change our text later. I find that to be the easiest method with that. Okay, now that that's pre-composed, we can always jump in there and change our text if you decide you want it different later. I'm just going to add a solid as a background, give us a nice light yellow. That should be good. Then I'll change our text, give it like a fill, something that pops a little more. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we have our base sort of footage, I guess. So now to add the shadow, we're going to duplicate this this composition of the text. And on the bottom layer, that's where we're going to add all of our effects. So the first effect we're going to add is a radial blur. CC radial blur, make sure you get that one and drag it right on there. And we're going to set the type to fading zoom. Okay, so now let's just set this back a little. If you go forward, it'll set it forward. But if we set it going backwards, it's going to look pretty cool. So don't worry about it being very faint right now. That's completely fine. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to add on a fast blur, just to sort of soften this out, make it a little more shadow-like. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, if we wanted a fill, we could, I guess, move it over here. That just tends to sometimes look better with, like, if we're making it black. But I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna undo that. There we go. Just because I think for this, the shadow might as well be the same color as the text. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm gonna add on a curves adjustment and drag that on top. And then go to the alpha channel. And so what we can do here is boost this up. So this is where it doesn't really work the same color. We can, like, I guess we will change it to black. Okay, so you can play with how you want your alpha channel to look. This is just, the alpha channel is basically the transparency layer. So depending on how we move this affects what parts of the image are going to be how transparent. So it's kind of cool when we leave it not 100% black, because that way it gives it a little depth, sort of, and you can see that when we start moving it in a minute. So I'm just going to add some curves to round it off, because you can see that really doesn't look too good like that. So I'm going to add another fast blur. And then just soften that off a little bit. And so that's looking pretty good for our blur. So now we're going to parent this to a null. So I'm going to make a new null object, and then just find this center right here, and alt-click on that. Now click on your null and hit P, and now pick whip this right here, this expression for the center, up to the position, and drag it right on top there. So now, wherever we move our null object is going to be the center for these long shadows. So I'm going to set this just to quarter resolution so it renders faster. And you can see that we get some cool looking results here. So you can see that as we spread it off, we get a little nice depth stuff. If you want it to be a little more solid, you can always play with that alpha channel here. We could always boost that some more, and that looks... It really depends on the effect you're going for. If you want it a little more solid, then you'll want to bring up the alpha channel more. But overall, this is our effect. So I find this to be an easy variation of the common long shadow effect. And there are so many different ways to do this. I mean, many people have done many tutorials on different ways. This is just one way to get one of the versions of it that looks pretty good. So, thank you for watching this After Effects tutorial. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.